C'est clair encore que Justin Trudeau n'en vaut pas le coup après 8 ans. Hier, la mise à jour a ajouté un autre 20 milliards de dollars additionnels à l'inflation et les taux d'intérêt. Donc, la mise à jour libérale veut dire plus de dettes, plus d'inflation, plus d'intérêts, plus de taxes, et les Canadiens ne peuvent plus payer le prix de Justin Trudeau. C'est la raison pour laquelle les conservateurs, guidés par le gros bon sens, voteront non confiance sur la mise à jour et sur Justin Trudeau. Hier, on a vu qu'il continue d'ajouter à la dette nationale, jusqu'au point qu'on va dépenser l'année prochaine plus sur l'intérêt que sur la santé. Le double sur l'intérêt que sur notre militaire, dans un monde qui est davantage dangereux. C'est irresponsable. Ça alimente l'inflation, selon le gouverneur de la Banque du Canada, et ça ajoute un autre 2 au taux d'intérêt selon la Banque Scotia. 2 ça veut dire 700 $ par mois pour une hypothèque moyenne, ou 8 400 $. Et sur quoi est-ce qu'ils dépensent cet argent? Pour les mêmes programmes de logement qui ont déjà doublé le coût de logement. Si vous regardez les mots et les dollars pour les programmes de logement qu'il a annoncés hier, c'est les mêmes programmes dont on parle depuis 2015. Et quels sont les résultats de ces programmes? Le coût de logement a doublé, le loyer a doublé, les hypothèques ont doublé, les premiers versements nécessaires pour une hypothèque ont doublé. Ça, c'est le résultat de ces programmes. Et qu'est-ce que Justin Trudeau va faire? Il veut ajouter davantage. Il crée un nouveau département. Les Canadiens ne peuvent pas vivre dans un département gouvernemental, ni des photo-ops de Sean Fraser. Ils ont besoin des maisons. Je suis le seul chef avec un plan de gros bon sens pour bâtir des maisons et non pas la bureaucratie, en incitant les municipalités d'enlever la bureaucratie et de permettre la construction. Le Parti conservateur va éliminer la taxe carbone, va plafonner les dépenses et éliminer le gaspillage pour réduire l'inflation, les taux d'intérêt, les taxes et les impôts. Et finalement, on a vu hier que Justin Trudeau dépense 15 milliards de dollars pour payer 1600 employés étrangers du Corée. C'est un scandale. Il devrait permettre les Canadiens de regarder le contrat. Donc, je demande au premier ministre de publier le contrat pour qu'on puisse savoir combien de travailleurs étrangers vont être financés par les contribuables qui ne peuvent même plus se nourrir. Ça n'a pas de bon sens. Le Parti conservateur, c'est le seul parti de gros bon sens qui va permettre les gens de gagner les plus grands chèques de paie, qui achètent de nourriture, de l'essence et des maisons abordables dans les communautés sécuritaires. Merci beaucoup. Thank you very much for being here. Now in English. After 8 years, Justin Trudeau is not worth the cost. Yesterday, his economic update brought in $20 billion of new inflationary spending that pushes up interest rates, and it can be summed up very simply. Prices up, rates up, debt up, taxes up, time's up for Justin Trudeau. Common sense conservatives will vote non-confidence, not just in this plan, but in Justin Trudeau, because it's time to replace him with a new common sense government that will bring home powerful paychecks that buy affordable food, gas, and homes in safe neighborhoods. Listen, this is someone who's doubled our national debt. He's added more debt than all previous prime ministers combined. Next year, we will spend more on debt interest in Canada than we do on health care. That's right. We will spend $52 billion paying interest on Justin Trudeau's debt and only $51 billion on health care. Trudeau wants to spend twice as much on debt interest than on our military. And how are people living? After 8 years of Trudeau, food bank use has reached a record-smashing 2 million. Housing costs have doubled. And yesterday, he repackaged all the same programs that have doubled housing costs, gave them new names and more money, which we can expect will only make the problem worse. And finally, he's giving $15 billion tax dollars to hire 1,600 foreign replacement workers. The Prime Minister is literally bringing in replacement workers to throw our hardworking union families out in the cold. So Windsor families won't get the jobs. Foreign workers from South Korea will, paid for by Canadian tax dollars. $15 billion of tax money works out to $1,000 for every family in Canada to hire replacement workers from South Korea. If Justin Trudeau is proud of having wasted this money, he should publish the contract. Be honest, bring the contract out, prove to us that there are any guarantees at all of jobs for Canadians. I bet he won't do it because he is giving our money to foreign replacement workers and putting our workers out in the cold, something common sense Conservatives would never allow. And he wants to go ahead with his plan to quadruple the carbon tax. Quadruple the carbon tax when we have 2 million people going to a food bank right now. Quadruple the carbon tax on seniors choosing between eating and heating. Common sense Conservatives will axe the tax. We will cap spending and cut waste to balance the budget and bring down inflation and interest rates. We will lower income taxes to bring home powerful paychecks that reward hard work. And we will build homes and not bureaucracy by incentivizing cities and other bureaucracies to get out of the way so we can build, build, build. This is the common sense of the common people united for our common home.
Monsieur Poilievre, quand vous dites time's up, est-ce qu'on doit comprendre que vous allez présenter une motion de non-confiance pour renverser le gouvernement minoritaire?
Nous allons voter contre le gouvernement sur la mise à jour économique, ce qui est un vote de non-confiance.
About the attempt by India apparently to try to assassinate a Canadian American on American soil. I wonder if you have some thoughts about how that might make Canadians feel. I know you've got many members in your own caucus concerned about this.
It's always unacceptable for any government to assassinate anybody anywhere in the world, and we want to see the truth come to light on all these matters. Conservatives, common sense Conservatives have called for a foreign agent registry, but Justin Trudeau promised he would bring in last spring, still hasn't. We're almost at Christmas. We're wondering when that foreign agent registry is going to appear.
Why do you vote against the Ukraine Free Trade Agreement?
The carbon tax deal. We're against putting a carbon tax into any trade agreement. We are in favor of the free trade with Ukraine. In fact, it was Conservatives that brought in free trade with Ukraine. Justin Trudeau decided not to go ahead with a trade deal. He decided to go ahead with a carbon tax deal. And I really think that it speaks to how pathologically obsessed Trudeau is with the carbon tax, that while the knife is at the throat of Ukrainians, he would use that to impose his carbon tax ideology on those poor people. The last thing they need is a carbon tax when they're trying to rebuild from war and from this illegal invasion by Russia. Common sense Conservatives will, when we take office, continue with our free trade record with Ukraine. We will remove any reference to the carbon tax, and we will actually put in things that will help, like selling Canada's civilian-grade nuclear technology and uranium so that Ukraine can power its economy emissions-free, like allowing Canadian defense workers to produce munitions and sell them to Ukraine so that Ukraine can win the war for its freedom from Russia. None of these things actually made it in. Trudeau wasn't interested in those things. In fact, yesterday, you should be asking him why his party voted against a supply agreement for Canadian defense workers to produce munitions and other technologies that would help Ukraine win the war, because he's not interested in that. He's interested in a carbon tax, and we are against carbon taxes.
How is the gouvernement
conservateur se retirerait de l'accord de Paris sur le climat?
Pardon?
Est-ce qu'un gouvernement conservateur se retirerait de l'accord de Paris sur le climat?
On ne propose pas ça.
How is the party going to be voting on the government's legislation to ban the use
Well,
of replacement workers?
We will be voting on that. What we find ironic, though, is that Justin Trudeau is bringing in 1,600 replacement workers from South Korea to work in the $15 billion deal. They're replacement. They will be replacing Canadian workers. They will be replacing Canadian workers, which makes them replacement workers. And by the way, they will be replacing what would have been union workers. So they are. If I could, they will be replacement workers, workers that will be taking jobs from union households in the Windsor region. And Justin Trudeau has to tell starving single moms, seniors, and small businesses why every household in Canada is paying $1,000 in taxes so he can give a $15 billion grant to fund 1,600 replacement workers from South Korea that will push Canadians out of jobs. The other point, then,
Pourquoi vous avez l'intention de couper, M. Poilievre, pour éliminer graduellement le déficit? Pouvez-vous nous donner des spécifiques? Qu'est-ce que vous annuleriez?
Nous allons annuler le fonds vert d'1 milliard de dollars qui est plein de gaspillage et corruption. Nous allons éliminer le Banque de l'infrastructure de 35 milliards de dollars. Nous allons éliminer le ArriveCan application. Nous allons couper des contrats aux consultants qui sont exorbitants, qui ont augmenté de 100%, y compris pour McKinsey, une entreprise liée aux libéraux. Et j'en passe. Et nous allons mettre en place une loi de gros bon sens qui obligera mon gouvernement de trouver $1 d'économie pour chaque nouveau dollar de dépenses. C'est comme ça que les mères monoparentales et les petites entreprises gèrent le budget. C'est le gros bon sens et c'est ce que je vais faire comme Premier ministre du Canada. Merci beaucoup.